You're listening to the Oklahoma Memo podcast, the fastest way to get smart on Oklahoma news, politics, business, and sports.
Welcome to the Oklahoma Memo podcast. My name is Ryan Welton, the founder and curator of Oklahoma Memo, your daily local news recap that hits your inbox 6 days a week at 7 a.m. You can sign up for that newsletter at oklahomamemo.com/subscribe. It is free and always will be. This morning, as part of the Oklahoma podcast series, I'm joined by Tracey Halley-Terrell, the president of the Oklahoma Bondsman Association, and we're going to talk about a scam that is happening across Oklahoma right now that, frankly, when I read the notes here, Tracey, I thought this could happen to anybody. But first, how are you doing? We're toward the end of summer now.
I'm doing well. Waiting, my grandkids start school next week, so we're all really excited with that. Hopefully I'm going on a vacation soon. Really excited about that as well.
Yeah,
And then
we got back from a vacation, and that's where I got this cold. We were supposed to record, folks, last week, but I was a mess. Well, speaking of a mess, this type of scam we're going to talk about today can leave families in a mess and can rob your bank account of thousands of dollars. You're not only the president of the Oklahoma Bondsman Association, which you've been for a year now, you're the owner of your own company. Tell us about that company.
yes, I own A Absolute Bail Bonds. This year we celebrate 25 years in business. We're located just across the street from the county jail, the Oklahoma County Jail, and we serve the whole state.
And I think, you mentioning the location, that's going to come up in our conversation in terms of one way that these scammers operate. And also, before we started recording, I joked that A Absolute, do I have that right? A Absolute?
Yes.
All right, I just want to make sure. I kept saying A Associate. A Absolute, that's back in the day when you wanted to be at the front of the phone book, or as I like to call it, doxing before doxing was frowned upon. All right, so let's talk about the scenario. I'm at home. I get a call from a loved one. What happens?
So typically, once somebody is arrested, they are given access to phones right there in the holding cell. And they can use those and make free calls to their family or friends, whomever they're trying to reach, to let them know that they are currently in custody and they want to be bonded out.
Well, all right, but that's how it normally happens. What
Correct.
about this? What about this jail scam? Because the jail scam is what's concerning. It could be late at night. I've heard about the scams where a long lost friend calls you from London and says they need money to expedite, I don't know, a lost passport or something. And sometimes people are fooled out of $1,000, $2,000. What does the jail scam look like? And it looks awfully similar to the real deal, doesn't it?
So the scam that's going on right now, that I'm hearing about from clients and other bondsmen, is that somebody is reaching out to the family members. They're getting the emergency contact information from the person that's in custody somehow. They're calling their family and friends and then telling them they're either part of a law enforcement or some kind of program to where if they pay them a couple $1,000s, they'll put them on an ankle monitor and release them. That's a scam.
And okay, so help me understand. They get the information from these people. They're probably not getting it directly, or are they like doing internet or using AI?
So we aren't sure how they're getting the information of those contacts, but they are reaching out to them. They're putting pressure on them, telling them, hey, we need to do this right now, or they're not going to be eligible to be released for several days, if not weeks. We need you to send us this money right now, and we will give it back to you at the end.
Of course, they will give it back
Mhm.
to you at the
Right.
end. So that's pretty scary. What
Yes.
types of people are executing these scams? Are they our neighbors? Is it some sort of larger cartel or something?
I'm only assuming we're still they're still investigating how this is all going on and who's doing it. We do know there has to be some people that are local doing it, because at one point they were meeting people and collecting cash, giving fake paperwork. We even had one instance where the scammer was using my company and saying they were with us and was trying to get money out of people. Actually, had called somebody who had a family member that was in DOC custody, and those people aren't even eligible for bonds. So they knew at that point that that was a scam, and then reached out to us to let us know what was going on.
Right. And I would imagine, is it always a call that's going out on behalf of somebody who's in custody, or could it be like random? Let's say that, a relative of mine, I get a call about that, but they actually haven't been arrested. Does that happen?
I'm sure it does. We aren't hearing a lot about that at this point. I did get a call actually this past weekend where somebody was saying they thought their father-in-law was in custody, and that they had gotten a call claiming that that was them calling and trying to get a collect call through. It wasn't able to go through. And this gentleman reached out to called his ex father in law, and he happened to not be in custody. So that is starting up. That was the first one I've heard of it recently.
I would imagine after the scammers exhaust their sort of like normal ways of scamming, they're going to have to get creative. But can we just back up and just educate folks about how the bondsman's role, how that works in these situations? Let's say that I get arrested, and I just pick somebody out of the phone book? I mean, you're at the top of the list. I mean, what happens? I have to contact a bondsman, right?
So typically, the people that are in custody, the jail provides a list of all bondsmen that have filed their license in Oklahoma County. If they're in Oklahoma County Jail, they will get a list of the bondsmen. They can reach out to any bondsman on that list. Um, a lot of times, what they will do is call their family members. The family will then Google a bondsman in whatever area they're in, and then call that bonding company. Most of
Yeah.
us we all have websites that are online and with Google.
And then what happens at that point? They pay, isn't it 10% of whatever the bail would be to you?
Typically, it is 10%. When you get to the higher bonds, a lot of the bonding companies will offer a payment plan, because if the bond is 25,000, a lot of people don't have $2,500 just laying around for something like this. So we
Right.
will help negotiate terms to make it reasonable to help them get their family members out of custody.
That's, folks, how it normally works, or how it should work.
Yes.
But some of the notes I'm seeing about this scam includes things like scammers using AI voice cloning to make them more convincing. Have you actually heard of or seen a case like that where the scammer has cloned the voice of somebody
It's
who's in custody?
it's not exactly the same voice, it's kinda similar. What we are, telling people is that they should, just like when you with your alarm system, you have a code word when the alarm company calls you if your alarm's been set off. We're saying that families should get together and have that same thing, some kind of word that only your family knows, so that way you can verify that's who it is. With AI getting as good as it is, I mean, this could be for any circumstance, not just for bail related.
That's really smart. Just have a code word amongst the nuclear family. I'm thinking, if it were sort of like a cousin, a niece, a nephew, a father-in-law, you might not really be close. You're close, but you're maybe not close enough to start coming up with code words. But it's probably worth a discussion in the world of AI. And have you had any of your clients so far who have been scammed? Who have been scammed at first? They weren't your clients at first, and maybe they came to you to help rescue the situation.
Yes, I have. I had an older woman, her daughter was arrested, and she received the call about the ankle monitor. She was scammed out of $2,000. When she called me, I was like, ma'am, that bond doesn't even cost $2,000. And of course, she spent all of her money with that scammer. So I put her on a plan to where we could help get her daughter out, get her daughter back home to her kids.
All right, so you laid out what the scam looks like, Tracy. what are some warning signs? Now, mind you, as somebody, I told you I worked for Griffin Media for 8 years. I am a big believer in WWLFD, and that is what would Lori Fulbright do? If you're not familiar with Lori Fulbright, anchor in
I am.
Tulsa, no, one of them. She is the expert in keeping yourself from getting scammed. So my question to you is, what are the warning signs? I just not going to pick up the phone.
Right. So they're going to put a lot of pressure, do scare tactics, things of that sort. And we're telling people that they should um, verify that your loved one is actually in custody. You can call the whichever jail that they're supposed to be at, call them, make sure they're in there. And then you can also Google Bondsman. We're also licensed through the Oklahoma Insurance Commission. You can find us there as well. And then when you meet with that bondsman, we also have license that you can see and verify. It even has our picture on it.
All right, that's good. But with the phone call, you get that phone call, and I guess maybe you would say, I'm thinking if I were to get the phone call, okay, thank you for the information. I'm going to work to verify this. Give me a number where I can reach you or call you back.
Yes, and sometimes they are giving out the numbers too, where you can call them back. But most of the time, they're threatening you not to hang up. If you hang up, this is we're not gonna be able to do this. So they're really putting fear and pressure on these people.
Have to imagine that is a telltale warning sign that they're not legit.
Yes.
Okay, so all right. Some simple steps that folks can go through. I think we've largely covered that. But let's say that maybe you have succumbed to the pressure. People are in shock in that moment. They've heard the news. They're like,
Yes.
"Oh my goodness!" But truth of the matter is that yeah, you still have a little bit of time. It's not like but what would you advise people do? I would imagine the first piece of advice would be take a deep breath and
Yes.
then contact a licensed bondsman.
Correct. If you answer the phone and they're putting pressure on you not to hang up, send this money, at that point, I would hang up. You don't have to stay on the phone. If they're a bondsman is not going to pressure you to bond somebody out. We're going to give you the information and let you figure out what you want to do next. If you want to proceed with bonding them out, then we're going to have you come in our office. If you need to talk with other family members, please do that as well. There's no pressure whatsoever. We're just giving you the information on so you can make your decision.
Love that piece of advice. I'm a big believer in it. Just hang up. And you know, um, when I think about these types of scams, usually we talk in terms of 1,000 or 2,000. Can those scams turn into larger sums of money? Because I would have to imagine if you're sending them money, they're probably also going to try to trick you out of self-identifying information relative to your accounts. Does that happen?
Absolutely. We've seen where they're sending out fake paperwork to get all of your information. So security number, driver's license, address, everything. Um,
Yeah.
and they're doing it through like text messages, things like that. We don't operate
It
that way.
it right. Well, bondsmen, yeah, right, do not operate that way. It just, infuriates me when I think of that, people taking advantage folks at their lowest moment, a lowest moment that might not even be real. And, yeah. So, are there any other issues in the world of bonds that folks should be aware about now? Maybe not even related to this. I mean, you've been president of the Bondsman Association for a year. I figure there are probably other hot topics.
Well, there are several hot topics here in Oklahoma, but the main one that the public should be aware of is these scammers. They're the ones that's taking advantage, making the bondsman look bad when we have absolutely nothing to do it, and we're trying to put the word out there. Even the Oklahoma County Jail has it on their website about these scams as well. And it's happening throughout the state and throughout the nation. It's not just locally here.
Well, I would invite anybody who happens to watch this video, if you've been impacted uh, by a scammer like this, reach out to me, news at oklahomamemo.com. Maybe I'll get you in contact with Tracy. Although I would figure it's probably not immediate at that point. I really appreciate this information, Tracy. If people wanted to reach out to you with questions, or perhaps they need a bondsman, how can they find you?
They can reach out to the Oklahoma Bondsman Association. We have a website as well. They can also, if they wanted to reach me directly, they could call a Absolute Bail Bonds. They will get me. Both places have my numbers and my all of my information, all the contacts.
Tracey Halley-Terrell, thank you so much for this conversation about scammers. I think it's really important to get the word out there because, tell me if I'm wrong, this could happen to anybody.
It certainly can.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Tracy.
You're welcome.